Hello there, my name's Quentin Sumner, and I bring you something quite interesting and quite shocking in the church, the apostasy. In this church that I found some evidence that's very concerning. In fact, it's so concerning, I wonder what's actually going on in the local area of my area of Christchurch, Canterbury, New Zealand, when I see a particular thing, a symbol of a certain thing that's caused many hurt many years ago, and you see this in a youth group or on the website of somebody's website, I'm concerned that there's something going on in the Christian church that is very wicked. Really concerns me to see an emblem on that, on a Christian church. Very basically, the doctrine seems to be okay, message okay, but when you see it for young people, my concern is what's going on here. Are we seeing the greatest apostasy? And it says right in the last days there'll be great apostasy. Even the elite shall be deceived. You know, in Revelations, it says many a time there'll be fraudulent people of the false gospel coming out. In Thessalonians, but this shocks me even worse, that if churches or church leaders are putting this symbol, they are actually binding young people and the whole of the church into the kingdom of darkness. You know, Jesus said in Colossians, the real life is Jesus Christ. My biggest concern is that this emblem or symbol, maybe I'm wrong, but this is creating more fear, but it seems to be that it's okay. Now, the symbol that I saw that concerns me quite deeply, as I said, well, I'll go into as in the shapes of things to come, part 2 and 3, and get more sort of symbolic symbols. I will talk a little bit more about it and a bit more scriptural, but I just basically, if you can see, this was on a church website about for young people and their sort of camp that they'll have. And I'll just let you look at show it to you. This, if you can see it on if you can just see it, it's called Storm Camp. Now, if a little bit of, again, I'll show you again, Storm Camp, you actually can see quite clearly that it's the Satan when he fell from heaven, lightning. But if you go further, we'll go into a little bit more detail about it. There's a lot of people from Germany, especially Europe and Jews, would be shocked in horror of a Christian church putting that on their website. And for young people, Storm Camp. Well, I mean, if they want to camp, that's fine. But a storm camp of the stormtroopers of Germany for the young people, a storm camp of that symbolic symbol was the SS. What does that conjure up? Fear. Extermination of 6 million Jews. Am I seeing things? No, I don't think I'm seeing things. Why would you put an emblem like that? Why is, you know, Jesus said, he said in the last days in Matthew 24, many will fall away. Many will be deceived. I think that's blatant deceivement for young people or the church itself, that an emblem like that is put in the church. Now, I'll come back in part 2 and 3, just to basically a little bit more about the symbolic symbol, but to a modern day sort of theory that I think maybe this church is trying to do about the storm. They're trying to get people together. Well, there's a great apostasy going on, and it's called New Age, and its New Age is called Lucifer, and Lucifer has come into this church. Now, I don't know much about this church or met anybody from this church, but when I saw the symbol, you know, it conjures up, when I was a young person listening to rock and roll, Kiss, when they had K-I-S-S, and with the SS like the lightning bolt. Remember AC/DC with AC and the cross of the lightning bolt symbol right in there. Another group that became quite famous was Black Sabbath, who had the SS on their Sabbath. They had an album called We Sold Our Souls to Satan. A rock and roll. Well, basically, I've got to head Satan. It concerns me in those three groups that they put this emblem. They know there was power behind this emblem. It concerns me that seems to be a false sort of healing. I mean, you can see it's Storm Camp quite clearly with the emblem of the cross and the ZZ cross. Really concerns me that this is quite blatant for a church in this area. Where are these people getting their power? Where are they getting it today? As I further go into this study, and we'll find out, is this a new age movement? Yes, I think it is. For young people, for youth group leaders, there's a great apostasy out there that is rising up with new age music, or some form of sort of rock music, but form of music that's tearing people away. If anybody from the Jewish or German community saw that, they'd be horrified to see that, and saying it's put on a church website. This is, I'm saying again, very blatant. I do not believe that this is basically glorifying God. Storm Camp. What did the Germans and the Nazis do for the young people? Storm Camp, all right. It was a storm, all right. That took over Europe, nearly took over the world. It destroyed millions of lives. Here again, Jesus is saying in the last days, there will be great false apostasy. They'll take away the cross. They'll take the whole truth of the Bible away. They'll go into great things that are not of God, occultic things. This is occultic, again, I point out. The symbol, again, is a very powerful occultic symbol, used as Hitler used it very, he knew what he was doing. This is used quite blatantly. Why would this be on a church website? Storm Camp. And the interesting name of Storm Camp, of course, yes. But why? Well, I'll look further, but I'll leave the listener to you to listen, to say my words until I come to part 2 and 3, and we'll study a little bit more. It concerns me. Why is this put on here? Why? Why isn't the cross of Jesus Christ put on there? Why isn't the cross? Why isn't Jesus, our beloved Lord and Saviour, our God, our Almighty? Well, I ask you, and I ask you again, this is quite a blatantly, something is going on in the Christian church. Leaders, that something is going on that's been turned away from God. I don't know, but we'll find out, and as I speak more on this matter, but it concerns me greatly. I hope you listen to more, because there's more to come. Yeah, yes, there's shapes of things to come. There certainly are shapes of things to come together.